This next question here from Dean is about blocking signals during, any specific time during the day here. So his example is from 10:15 to 10:45 in the morning, Monday through Friday, and I'm going to assume that's Eastern time. So I've adjusted it for my time zone here. All right, so let's say we want to block signals, right, during this period of time here. So how would we use the time session solver to do that? All right, let's get BloodHound open. So I'm just going to make up some kind of, willy-nilly kind of fictitious signals here. I'm just going to use a inflection solver and just set that to the closing price of the bars. There you go. All right, so there we go. We got a ton of signals to work with here. And so now to the key of the question here is, how do we block those signals within this window of time here? So I'm going to grab a time session solver to connect that in. All right, and let's see here, the session. So let's go in and set up the session. Yeah, I'll put this in here manually. So, I guess, first thing, I'm going to adjust the time zone here first. So, right, so you can see it's going to default to your computer's local time zone there. But I'm actually going to adjust this to Eastern time. And where is it? There we go. Eastern time. And so now let's put in that little block of window here. So 10:15 to 10:45. 45. There we go. And click OK. And there we have it. So now I can right click on that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought there used to be a copy option here, but there isn't. Okay, so I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to set this to, so if you right click right on the Y axis here, right, the time axis, right, you can set different visual resolutions here. So I'm going to go to a 15-minute resolution, and where to go? There we go. And now I can just kind of drag. Well, sorry. There we go. Double click and then drag. So I can double click and then drag that down. Double click and then drag that down. And there we go. Now we have Monday through Friday, right? 10:15 to 10:45, and it is set to the Eastern Standard Time there. All right, let's click OK. And there you go. So actually I was off by 1 bar. There we go. Let's move that over. Now, by default, right, the time session solver is identifying that time window, that we put into the session here. So that means that signals will occur within this time window. So for example, let's connect these two together here. So let's take our signals, right? So there's all of our signals. And now let's connect in our time session solver like so. There we go, right? So now we only have signals inside that window of time, but that's the opposite of what Dean wants. So we're going to change the output here. So we don't want to identify in session, right? So those are the signals within that time window or that session. So we're going to set that to 0, and not in session, we're going to set that to 1, like so. There we go. So now we have signals, anytime but that time window there. Right? So, whenever you're kind of looking for the opposite, it's just a matter of adjusting your outputs to get the opposite result there, right? And every solver has an output so that you can get the opposite results. So, something else you could do, this is kind of a cheap and simple way of doing this, but you could use, the invert. Sometimes you can use the invert. So with the time session solver, we can see the invert here does actually work in this case here, but it's not always going to create the opposite effect, not always. So So, the best way to get the opposite result is check the outputs and, adjust them so that you get the opposite result. All right, so there we have it.